8 students are competing in a 200-meter race. How many ways can the students finish? First, second, and third. So it's not just going to be 8 factorial would be how many different total finishes from first to 8. But now we're only considered about first, second, and third. And so what we have here is how many decisions? Only 3. We have to decide who's coming first, who's coming second, who's coming third. I mean, the racers decide themselves, but for the purposes of decisions, how many choices or how many possibilities are there for first place? 8. And then 7, because you can't come in first and second. I mean, unless you're super fast, you run around and you beat everybody and then you lap everybody like, I get silver too, but I don't think that ever is happened. Okay, and then 6 people left could finish third. Now at the bottom of page 698, they introduce this formula. I'm going to show it to you and then I'm going to come back to this question and use this question to describe it. Permutations of different objects. The number of permutations of n distinct objects taken r at a time is npr, which is n factorial over n minus r factorial. So what does this mean and how can we use this for the question that we just did? Okay, so I'm gonna write that formula out. This formula is on your formula sheet. And how does it relate to a question? In this question, we have 8 students, 8 items, and we're arranging first, second, and third, only 3 of them. If we write this as a permutation, this means the same as 8p3. If we write it out as a formula, this would be, according to the formula, 8 factorial on the top, and on the bottom, 8 minus 3 factorial on the bottom. And of course, and this is going to connect to what we did right at the beginning of class, 8 factorial means 8 times 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. And 5 factorial means 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. And can you see that if you simplify, that whole thing would go away, and we're just left with the 8, the 7, and the 6. So sometimes we can think that there's a connection between the permutation formula and our decisions and choices. The R is the number of spaces or the number of decisions, and the N is the number you start with, and always go down by 1, because once something is used up, it can't be used again. Often though on the exam, if they're using this, they will want you to use it algebraically and show the formula and show the simplification. Okay? But it's nice to know this as a shortcut. That 8p3 would be 3 spaces, start with an 8, 8, 7, 6. As another way of writing. And we don't use the permutation formula a ton. We'll use the combination formula later a lot. Because usually we can figure out questions with just decisions and the fundamental counting principle, which makes it more straightforward and easier to do. Okay, questions you can circle. 4, 6, 7, and 8.